A very good morning and a hearty warm welcome to everyone at the Digital Teaching Certification Workshop Program. I hope you all had your breakfast and you are now with your happy stuffed faces so that we can now start our program. So it has been organized by Saras-3D and I warmly welcome you all. Firstly, I would like to extend a note of thank you for every one of you as you are a part of this event and you have graced it with your presence. Digital teaching, the word itself tells us that making education digital is the need of the hour. If we have to impart quality education, then we have to be sure that we are hand in hand with the latest available technologies to teach. Post COVID, everything has shifted online, as we all know, and we use it. But only education is a domain that still requires certain physical touch, certain personal touch, so that each and every student, depending on their learning capabilities and potential, can learn the best from you, esteemed teachers.
We at Saras-3D bridge the gap between technology and teaching. We are an organization whose motive is to escalate the education domain to newer heights by unlocking the potential of all the students who can improve their performances with our teaching techniques. Our pedagogue is entirely based on the current need of the hour, which is digital teaching. This does not mean we provide any self-explanatory videos. Rather, we are walking an extra mile and providing all the concepts in 3D for greater in-depth visualization, which nobody else is even thinking about. Digital tools and platforms are becoming ever more integral to our personal and working lives. Digital learning increases access to education and knowledge while empowering the students with a mindset and capabilities that set them up for the success in the present and future. Plenty of data suggests that simply giving learners access to devices does not help. It doesn't need to better outcomes. Thoughtful integration and actively adopting a digital mindset are needed for digital learning to truly enhance the overall student experience.
We aim to use the tools that are very affordable and are built to use intuitively by the learners with all levels of digital skills. Digital learning is becoming more prevalent regardless of whether you are feeling ready about it or not and your classroom is ready or not. Educators who are embracing these shifts in their curriculum are becoming more and more efficient and they are saving themselves time and also making sure that their education is imparted in the best possible way.
Let's move forward and start the event with a big round of applause to all the chief guests with the help of which this event has been made possible.
And we want to begin this by felicitating our chief guests. So first we would like to felicitate Mr. Dhaval Pathak, who is Director of 3D EdTech. And we would like to call Kashyap sir to please do this. A huge round of applause, everyone. Yes. Okay. Where do they? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And next, we have our very own Mr. Ashok Pandya, who is also one of our directors. And I would like to tell Kashyap sir to please do this. We have Mr. Milind Shastri, and we would like to felicitate him as well. So please, sir. The clapping should continue. We should not stop. Yes. Okay. Thank you. And so, to begin this on a good note of positivity, we will start our session by the lamp lighting, and for which I would like to call our esteemed guests, Mr. Pathak, Mr. Ashok Pandya, Vijay sir, Kashyap sir, Milind sir, and Shilpa ma'am. And also Smita ma'am. Yes. Please come up. Yes. Thank you, dignitaries, for commencing our session on a good note of positivity. Saras-3D thought about a world where the teachers can combine their teaching methodologies with digital technology so that we students can understand all concepts easily. Our founder and CTO, Mr. Bipin Dama, founded Saras-3D in 2016 to make an impact in STEM education. Hence, Saras-3D came up with a brand new technology update in education, which is digital learning. He has also had two startups under his wing, namely AA Netcom and Lightwire. He also holds 37 granted US patents as well. Due to certain unavoidable circumstances, he could not make his presence here, but we surely miss him.
Speaking about expertise, our CEO, Mr. Vijay Albuquerque, is an entrepreneur with deep prowess in product development, operations, business strategy, and strategic alliances in multiple market segments. He has held leadership positions at large public companies and startups. To give us knowledge and of his vision and future projects, I would like to welcome Mr. Vijay Albuquerque to come up on the stage and share a few words and his insights for today's event. A big round of applause for our CEO.
So I'd like to welcome everyone. It's an honor to have our chief guests, our, our privileged our privileged speakers, and of course our principals and teachers. We are here to support teachers. Our mission is education. Our mission is digital education, and we are very committed. As you know, our founder Bipin Dama, I just want to check, can you all hear me? It's good? At the back? No? Better? Okay, I just want okay. So we have our founder Bipin has not been here, but Bipin is a serial entrepreneur. He solves difficult problems. Digital education is not an easy problem. This is difficult, and it has taken us 7 years to develop our content. Our content is without exception the best in the industry. This is exceptional content. Our mission is to work with schools and with teachers and to enable accelerated learning. We view learning as in the past been a passive activity in schools where teachers teach and students learn. We are very much committed to learning with engagement, active learning. And it is easy to say, but it is more difficult to do. We have crafted and created the digital content that we are now using. In the last year, we've taken it to 50 schools, and we have now, in the next year, we'll take it to many, many more schools. That is our value proposition: digital education, accelerated learning, and the commitment to work with schools and teachers. I want to leave this last point, which to me is very valid. We've gone through the pandemic, a challenging worldwide situation. We are fortunately recovered, some countries much sooner than others, clearly not an issue here. But the impact on education has been huge. And the view that you can sit at home, students can sit at home with a computer program and learn, does not work so well. Learning very much happens in schools and happens through teachers and schools. And that validates our proposition, our value proposition, and that is why we are continuing on the path that we have been on. We will continue to work with schools and with teachers. We will offer teachers the best educational content anywhere, and we see content that is available all over the world. I can say without reservations that we have exceptional content. So I will move on to talk about more details. Next slide, please. So our mission is to democratize education. And if you look at education, all of us here have at some point in our family history have got educated. And education makes this huge social difference. It transcends social barriers, it transcends economic barriers. And we want to enable this education process. We want to democratize education. And that is something that we are committed to. And we are on this journey. And with your help, as our chief guests, as our directors, as the principals and teachers, we really want you to come with us on this journey. If you look at what is our stack, so now I move from a business standpoint to an engineering and a product development standpoint. The stack is basically the key elements that we build our product on. So the most basic element, if you look at, is high quality content. That is fundamental. That is our team of subject matter experts, all of whom have been teachers, have been educational professionals, and who have deep expertise in education. This team has built our content. Now we take the content that we have and put it on multiple platforms. If you look at the interactive learning platforms, and that is what we will spend a lot of time on today, in both in the morning and in the afternoon, talking about our content, talking about the platform, how our platform delivers content to students. Our business model we are a content company. We provide content, and we provide content to different platforms. The method of which we get the content to schools is through distributors. And I will let Sunil talk about our distribution and sales process and our products later. So I won't spend much time on it, but I just want to leave you with the key message that we are a content company. We are not a hardware or a software company. Our primary product is content and seamless delivery of content to all teachers, schools, and students. So moving on, we sell to schools. I mean, that is what we are, a business. We are not a not-for-profit. We are funded by investors. We are very committed to education. At the same time, have to return, um, we have to provide a return to our investors. That is very key. So I want to make sure that that is understood. And lastly, we sell to students through schools. We upsell. And so that is our key value proposition. I'll go through the slides quickly because I want to make sure that we spend time on our content and our product. Next slide, please. So as I said earlier, we have a world-class team of PhDs, scientists, content developers, exceptionally talented people. I have been so impressed with our team, and this is a team that we're continuing to grow. You will meet our subject matter experts today. They will step you through the content. They will step you through the differentiation we bring. And I want to make this a little personalized. I come from the business side and the operational side, and we are constantly pushing our teams hard. Kashyap Bhai, our VP GM in Ahmedabad, is super protective of these teams. He does not allow us to really push them too hard because the quality of the content is important. And I want to show that we are so driven by the quality of the content that we do not make compromises. Of course, the interactive teaching platform, and you will see this, and there's been evolution. We started off as purely 3D. Today, we put our content on flat panels. We put our content on tablets. We will be putting our content on phones. So it is what is the platform that is most appropriate for the conditions and for the schools and for the education system that is prevailing. And we are flexible. We will work with whatever is the appropriate platform and delivery mechanism. We have this flexibility, and I mean, as you see it, I mean, we have the 3D projectors, we have the flat panels, we have the tablets, and we have phones, and we will work with you and with your teams to see what works best. We also can deliver content directly to users, be it a school, be it a student, and in whatever environment is most appropriate. So I think this is to provide you with a framework for what you will see later in the day and in the afternoon, and also allow you to think about what you need and ask the appropriate questions. Next slide, please. Thanks. So this has been for us a very pleasant experience. We have been working on this platform for 7 years. And as we've seen the rollout of NEP 2020, we are very closely aligned to NEP 2020. In my experience, this is a phenomenal program. It is just so breakthrough relative to anything I've seen. And it is for us a great honor to be so closely aligned. Now, I also want to say that we are also aligned to NCERT, and through that, we cover all the major boards, the national boards, and also the regional boards. We are already CBSC, ICSC, and qualified with the regional boards, and we will continue to bring that qualification to whatever requirements we have. There's one other place that I want to highlight, and that is we are taking our science and math content into new markets. The one new market which is very interesting is engineering, where we are taking it into the first year of engineering. And we feel very strongly about this. When you're going into engineering and you're starting an engineering career, your math and science has to be good. If it is not good, you will not be successful. Our program is now in one university and going into many more universities with the objective that every student after the first year will be fully ready at a math and science level to take on the engineering programs, because the consequences of not being ready means students will drop out or they will not be fully qualified to take on a major engineering role. So, I mean, I know that all of you run really good schools with great students, so this might not be the appropriate program, but there are many schools, and we're seeing this not just in Gujarat or just in India, this is worldwide. In COVID, the education levels have dropped. Kids have not got fully compliant, fully educated in science and math, and now they're going into engineering and professional schools without the appropriate level of background. And we want to make sure that it is very destructive to the students, to the families, to the parents when kids are not able effectively drop out. In the Indian context, if you drop out of engineering, you lose 1 or 2 years. You cannot transition to another program. So we want to make sure, we want to help facilitate that. We have taken the similar content in biology, physiology, chemistry, and we're applying it to nursing as a transition program to get nursing students up to speed in the science, in the biology, in the physiology. Again, we are in one test school already deployed this year, very close by, and a school that we have, a university that we have a very strong relationship with. But these are extensions to our core program. And just to add to this, our team, which is across the street, and if any of you want to visit, Kashyap will take you across the street. Many of you have seen our facilities, seen our offices, but we are open at any time to show you what we have. And please feel free to let us know if you'd like to visit, if you'd like to see. We can do the appropriate level tours for you. We have 75 engineers, scientists. This is an exceptional team. And I just want to this is the type of team that we can afford only in a city like Ahmedabad, because this is a city with great talent, a long history of education, of science, and I will benchmark this team versus a team anywhere in the world. I mean, this is, and it is not just that, it is our engineers, our scientists, our developers will stay for us for a long time. This is not Bengaluru where they work for you for 2 years and then move on. There's long-term commitment, and in education that is very important. And let's move to the next slide. Yeah, we have a small team, a very small team in Allentown, where our founder Bipin Dama is based, and some of our the incubator team is there, but that is an ancillary to what we have in Ahmedabad. So I want to make sure that all of you understand that this is our headquarters. Right here across the street, this is where our core team is. Next slide, please. We have blended learning methods, and this is now getting into the detail. We start with content, and video lectures, then going into read the theory. We provide a huge amount of content, written content, which is available. And I have to say this, as I'm trained as an engineer, I've worked in business for many years, but every time I go into our Saras website, I get lost because there's such wonderful information. The textual information, the research information, it is just to me incredible. It is when I talk a lot to investors and to partners, and when they see our content, I don't have the discussion stops. It's you guys have really amazing content. You have a wonderful product. And I would encourage all of you to take a look at what we have. There are areas where our differentiation is huge. Look at the heart, the relationship of the heart, the anatomy of the heart, the electrical characteristics of the heart. We have had interventional cardiologists look at our human biology models. And their feedback is, you know what, if I had it took me a year in medical school with textbooks and dissection to understand what I know today. If I saw your human biology models, in a day I could have learned what took me 6 months to learn. So, incredible amount of detail, incredible amount of learning. And the learning, and I would put this one level further, is it is all NCRT certified, but it doesn't stop there. You can go much further. So it depends on a teacher, where you want to stop. And it depends on students. Students can learn enough for the exams, but they can go way beyond that. Next slide, please. So this content is now on multiple platforms. We can give it to you on all your students or as teachers on whatever platform you want. I want to add one point, which is for us very fundamental. Teachers should be teaching. There's a lot of administrative work that teachers have. My mother was a school teacher, and when I was growing up, after dinner, she would take this big stack of homework and she would grade the homework. And this went on for years. Now, I thought with all of the automation and all of the computers that this would be over. Turns out teachers are still grading. And we have automated this process. We provide teachers with the homework. They can take our homework suggestions or they can take homework which they pick. We will take that homework, they will upload it to our server. We will download it to the student devices. The students will do the homework. We will grade the homework. We will share the results with the teacher. We will share the statistics. We will share the results with the students and necessarily with the parents. So we've taken out a lot of the work that the teachers do, the administrative work. Also, we can guide the teachers in, look, this is what the students don't understand. This is what you need to focus on. And now we move from education, which is interactive, to more personalized education, which is this student does not understand this part. So please help him understand. As we get more advanced, we will do more of this automated and through AI, but this is further development. Today, we still have a huge breakthrough when we look at other companies. This is something that is not being done, and it is very much part of our mission to support teachers. Next slide, please. So these are our offices. If you see our Allentown office, we have a small portion of that office. And if you see the number of cars in that office, there's only one car parked there. So it's not we don't have a big team in Allentown, Pennsylvania, but we are well located. We are also doing some analytical work, and this is another key part which we're working with Saras University on analytics, understanding the results. How do we impact education? We are getting some very good feedback from some of the schools, from teachers, and that has also been important for us. But we do not want to say, we see many companies, tech companies, our product is fantastic. It is making a difference. We want data to show the difference. And that is what we are working on. So I don't want to take any more time. We have a great Ahmedabad office just across the street. You can see the picture here. You won't get lost getting to our office. It's very easy from here. So once again, I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for, I know you have busy schedules, and I know that it's a working day. I appreciate you being here. Please feel free to ask any questions at any time. And I will now hand over the mic back to Sri and the team. Thank you.
So please. Thank you very much, sir. Your vision and mission is what drives us and motivates us all to work hard. So I would like to ask everyone that the files and folders that you have, it also contains the itinerary of the event. So have a look at it because now we are going to start the speech by the speakers. I want you to have utmost energy and enthusiasm for the same. We have a dedicated sales team assigned. So if you have any questions regarding the sales and the office and the technologies that we use, they are voluntarily available here. So you can contact them, discuss things with them, and they are always for your help. If you require any help, please come and ask us. We are always ready for you. And now, moving forward, let us invite Dr. Ritu Singh, who has been a passionate educator for more than 8 years with a strong desire to help students. She has 6 published papers in total and is a core expert in digital teaching. Awarded as the Young Scientist at International Conference on Radiation Biology Frontiers. Let us welcome her on stage and get some insights about the different teaching techniques. Ritu ma'am. For the slides too. Where side your slides are? आगे?
So, all the dignitaries, invited guests, my seniors, and fellow colleagues, good morning to all of you. I feel honored to welcome you all on this important event conducted by Saras-3D on digital education. So, before starting, as a part of Saras-3D, I think that educators are missing few things which needs to be highlighted when it comes to teaching and make teaching more effective. So I'll not be taking much of the time and I'll start with my brief talk on effective teaching techniques. Next slide. So before that, I would like to highlight that the talk will be comprising on what are the types of learner, what a learner needs during your teaching experience, and how based on that understanding, you can make your teaching more effective. So what techniques you should have in your teaching methodologies. Next. So nowadays, you must be looking at newspapers full of success stories. You will find many pictures from different backgrounds of medical or engineering courses. But at the back, you will have multifold failure stories too. So frustrating for student, isn't it? So they are not able to make up the mark. The reason, most of the factors you are aware that the intense competition is there. These are high stake examinations. There is pressure to perform. At the same time, some of the students are lacking, guidance and support. But there is one more thing which is left behind, which is left hidden, and that is the instructional style that doesn't match with the learner's need. And that is why I am here to, throw some light. What is that? So it all started in 1987 with Neil Fleming. He introduced a work theory which says that every learner has a preferred sense of learning. Everybody is capable of learning, right? But there is a preferred sense involved in it. Every learner learns on its own ways. So there are some senses which are followed for this. So I would like to go for the next slide. So yes, based on that, the learners have been classified into 4 types. These are visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and reading and writing learners. So what are these? So let's get into the details. So first, visual learners. So these are the learners which prefer to learn through their visuals. 65% of the learners learn through looking at things, and these are the pictures and the charts or the graphs. So they take the information, or the preferred form of information is the pictures, charts over the text or the audios. So that is how you can create an impact, by providing them pictures. They are the ones who prefer to use the highlighters because the information stands out from the rest. These are the ones who loves using flashcards during the instructions. The next type of the learners are the auditory learners. These are the ones who like to have the audio inputs during their instructions. They are the ones who prefer to use the audiobooks. And if your instruction have, something, the facts are presented in the forms of poems or the mnemonics, where the learner needs to have the facts presented in the form of a perfect sequence. So these are the ones who preferred, or these mnemonics can be a great tools for them. The next type of a learner is kinesthetic learner. These are the most active learners. Traditional classes are not meant for them. They cannot make it because for them, learning is something, or activity is what stimulating for them. So if you are just reading or presenting something, it will not work for them. They would like to try hands-on. So they would like to have a hands-on experience for this. And they learn by doing. So you need to have some small gaps in order to keep them stimulating in your class. The last type of learners are, which are the most popular in Indian classrooms. These are the reading and writing learners who revolve around the words and the text. So they prefer to learn by words, essays, or internet pages or PowerPoint presentations. For them, reading is fun. So for them, it is not difficult because they need to just access the learning information in the form of text. So now, once we are get with the understanding that there are 4 different types of learners, we need to design our teaching in such a way that we should be able to connect each and every student in the classroom based on these needs. And how we can do it, so I would like to highlight some of the points, not all, but yes. To begin with, the first one is you need to create an excitement in your classroom. So you can be a great teacher, but anything which goes in routine seems boring. Even if you are provided with a routine food or your favorite food daily, you will not like it. In the similar way, if you are presenting your lecture in the same monotonous way, it will be boring. So for that manner, you need to generate an excitement. And for that, I can provide you an example. If you could try out with the recorded lectures in your classrooms to go with some low-paced topics. Anytime you can sprinkle your flavor in between with the play pause feature. So that's how you can generate an excitement for your students. Second thing is storytelling. The young learners are always captivated with the story. You can present some of the concepts, like abstract concepts which do not have any physical form, can be presented with a kind of story. So you can bind your learner, keep them engaged. The next thing is use of 3D visualization. Now in this digital world, this is happening and we are here to help you out. So you can use the 3D tools or the 3D objects in your classroom. This will not only empower teachers, but also learners to examine the details of the intricate object all 360 degree. This is interactive and quite engaging and motivates a learner to go further. Next is the use of simulations. So simulations are the strongest tool to foster critical thinking. For a STEM student, they need to understand the how behind it, how that is happening. It's not what, so it is how. So they need to examine the n number of combinations which are working in n number of ways. So these are the simulations which are the best tools which engage, interact the students in the classroom and makes class more interesting. Next. Now, it's not always true that whatever teacher is catering in the classroom becomes meaningful. So student has to learn through the knowledge he experienced. So the knowledge needs to be applied. The student needs to understand in the science especially how those hypotheses are becoming experiments and how these are getting into facts and get into your books. So that understanding should be there. How that learn, so just make your learning more meaningful. So that needs to be, so you need to gradually take your students from the factual to the conceptual understanding. Next. Now, this is very important that avoids passive learning. You need to make your students self-reflect in the class. So you need to empower them, encourage them to take the ownership of their learning so that they can self-reflect. And by this, it's not only empowering students to take ownership, but even during your class modules, you will be able to figure out what are their weaknesses and where you are lacking that student is not able to make up. Last, not the least, encourage your students, give extra credit points. So this will encourage, and the students are encouraged to learn from their mistakes. So this is very important. Yeah. So these are the points I would like to cover in my brief talk. And we as Saras-3D are here to help you out, which makes sense in digital education. So yeah, give wings to your teaching. That is the motto. Thank you.
Everyone has to give a huge round of applause. Come on, be excited now. Yes. Just listen now. I'll invite. Okay. So now we have a dedicated learner from our who has used our Saras-3D product, and we would like to felicitate her. We are now going to call Miss Haley. And where is Haley? Haley has to wait. Yes, Haley, please come up on stage. She has been a maximum user. She has got good grades using our Saras system and is an expert learner as well. So we'd like to hear a few words from her experience and how much she has loved our product. And then we are going to felicitate her. Thank you so much for coming today. And please share your few words.
Hello, good morning to all. Myself Patel Haley Brijesh Kumar from Aklav. I have used Saras-3D since 2 years, and according to my experience, I have gained a good and a unique knowledge by using the Saras-3D. I have well prepared and I have also got a good marks in my exam. So I say that Saras-3D is the best and a digital and a unique system which is very useful for our students. So I would like to thank you Saras-3D for giving me this opportunity to come up on stage and share my experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Haley. You are a very intelligent and smart person, and thank you for using our system. We would wait. We would like to felicitate you, and for that, I would like to call Ritu ma'am. As a token of appreciation, we would like to give a gift to you. Yes, a huge round of applause, everyone. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ritu ma'am. Thank you very much, Haley. I would like to invite Mr. Ashok Pandya to give a memento of thank you to Dr. Ritu Singh. Let's welcome both of them.
So the speeches that we have started are given by our expert speakers. Please take important notes from it. They are all available here. You can take their time also, discuss the important things that they have suggested. They have a vast share of knowledge to give, but due to a limited time, they are only able to give part of it. So you are all free to discuss anytime, anything you want with them. And moving on, we are now going to call our next speaker.
Let's move forward and invite Mr. B. Ananthakrishnan, CEO, Operations Calarix Group. He is a target-oriented professional with 25 plus years of experience in techno-commercial and operational leadership roles. good exposure in starting and operating educational institutions right from the drawing board and establishing them into profitable ventures. Let's have a deep down journey with him of what an ideal digital classroom should be.
Good morning. Guru Bhyo Namaha. My namaskarams to my guru and to my mentors and to my seniors here. Friends, nice occasion, nice weather in fact, beautiful morning. Saturday morning, meri chutti hai. So when I first got this opportunity to be speaking here, I said, why on a Saturday morning? You know, and then they said this is about technology and education. I said, chalo, koi baat nahi, chalte hain. Because that's very close to my heart. That's why probably I'm here to talk about technology and education. So I don't believe in this PPT presentations. So excuse me for not showing you one. I'll be very crisp, short, and give you my experiences of how I see technology and education. So these guys just gave a short brief about me. I don't know how much of it is real or what is it about. वो तो LinkedIn से उठाया, चलो कोई बात नहीं. But then 27 years I've spent in the field of education, researching on people's needs, right? So by qualification, I'm a Java developer, but by profession, I run schools. I am the CEO operations for the Calrex Group. So we run more than 55 institutions, and that's my job. सुबह सुबह उठ के आज ये टीचर नहीं आया, आज वो नहीं आया, ये नहीं हुआ, आज वो नहीं हुआ, वो नहीं हुआ, ये नहीं हुआ, ये वो नहीं हुआ. End of the day, सब करना होता है. That's what I do. All right. So since I do all that, I understand what is the requirement of a child, what is the requirement of a parent. We kind of meet them very frequently. And I am a father to a little lovely daughter who is in her college at Karnataka. So I understand technology and I understand how children see technology from their eyes, right? So with that vision, I'll be just taking about 10 to 12 minutes of your time. Wherever you feel you need to interrupt, please interrupt me. I like being interrupted, right? First question to you is, how many of us really are here because we want to be here? Right, so we all are here because we want to be here. How many are here because यार कुछ न कुछ स्कूल वालों ने करना है, चलो जाके देख लेते हैं, one more technology company, one more product, एक और डेमो, कोई बात नहीं, संडे है, सबके साथ मिल लेंगे, कोई अच्छी चाय पी लेंगे, आ जाएंगे. How many of us are because of that? जो उस तरीके से आए हैं उनके लिए ये सेशन ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, बिकॉज हमेशा अच्छी चीज़ें वैसे जब आप प्रोडक्ट को देखोगे तो ही मिलती है. When you go without really wanting to do something about it, you really get an idea, an open mind, and your mind starts working onto it, right? So I appreciate and welcome all of you here. Second, how many of us here remember our favorite teacher in school? Good. So you must be remembering your favorite teachers because they would have been good to you, they would have given you good marks, they would have been very nice to you, right? आपके पेरेंट जब पीटीएम में गए होंगे तो आपके बारे में बड़े फ्लारी बात करी होगी, आपका टाइम अच्छा बीता होगा. How many of you remember the deadliest teacher in school? Lovely, lovely, lovely. What do you remember your deadliest teacher for? What do you remember your deadliest teacher for? Dr. Ritu, if you can kindly pass on a mic. This is going to be a very interactive session. So, punishment, right. Punishment, right. Anybody else? Discipline, lovely. Anybody else? Extra homework, I love you for all that. Anybody else, please? All right, okay. So, अभी एक वीडियो देख रहा था पीछे में, उसमें से कैसा था? I'll have to explain to you. What do you call this? Right? तो अभी तो खैर CBSE सभी ने, I mean even ICSE, everybody has punished, or rather abolished punishments. But punishments used to be a very, very nice thing and a very close to heart thing for the teachers of our times. Right? Any teacher of our times, please? All right. So I can see a few faces जिनको मैं अपनी उम्र का समझता हूँ, तो they would understand and recollect. खुद भी punish करते होंगे initial time of their career. और खूब पनिश हुए भी होंगे, राइट? सो मेरे को उस दिन मेरे ग्रुप में कहते हैं ये बड़ा अच्छा हो गया, ये पनिशमेंट का सिस्टम हट गया, ये नील डाउन वगैरह खत्म हो गया. मैं कहा यार आज भी तो होता ही है, स्कूल में नहीं होता तो क्या हुआ, जिम में मेरा इंस्ट्रक्टर तो वही करवाता है, कान पकड़ के उठक बैठक. So somewhere physical and mental dimensions have to collaborate. That is why uthak baitak. That is why your punishments. If you all understand what is it all about, right? चोटी पकड़ के क्यों खींचते थे? क्योंकि यहाँ पे brain functioning maximum होती है, right? चोटी पकड़ के जब आप खींचते हो, so that sends the nerves, the tickles the nerve, which sends a signal to the brain. So your brain starts functioning and activating, right? So इसीलिए ये सब चीजें होती थी उस जमाने में, right? नाउ व्हाट इज द स्टिमुलेंट. आप टीचर को हाथ नहीं, सॉरी, आप बच्चे को हाथ नहीं लगा सकते. आज पेरेंट को आप कुछ बच्चे को कुछ बोल नहीं सकते. कुछ बोल दिया तो बच्चा एक वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग करके यूट्यूब में डाल देता है. व्हाट विल यू डू? अभी HDFC बैंक का एक बेचारा मैनेजर है, और उसकी फिर आई एम सॉरी, आई मीन हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू रियली अंडरस्टैंड दैट, आई डोंट नो, बट मैं तो ऐसे ही डांटता हूँ अपनी टीम को. करता नहीं कोई काम तो नहीं डांटना पड़ता है, और डांटने से भी अगर वीडियो डाल के डाल दोगे फिर क्या बात है. सो एज अ टीचर व्हाट टूल्स डू यू हैव? Right? One. How many of you remember, okay, how many of you are from sciences here? कितने लोग साइंस स्टूडेंट हैं? Almost everybody. Good. पर schools ने भी देख देख के चुन चुन के साइंस टीचर्स भेजे यहाँ पे. Good, 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 good. All right. How many of us remember what is gravity? How many of us remember what is gravity? You because you would be applying gravity in some form in your content. ठीक है, छोड़ दो. अब किसी को याद नहीं. Right? मुझे भी याद नहीं. How many of you remember vernier calipers? साइंस वाले? आधा हाथ ऊपर आधा हाथ नीचे, पता नहीं, शायद. ऑलराइट, ओके, अबाउट 5-7. हाउ मेनी ऑफ अस रिमेंबर द आइकॉनिक मूवी शोले? लवली. सो जिसने भी हाथ उठाया, ये हाथ मुझे दे दे वाली हालत है. गुड गुड गुड. सो व्हाई डू वी रिमेंबर शोले? प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड. सी, आई मीन it may sound very jovial, but why do we, there's a big time thought onto it. Why do we understand and remember Sholay? Why? तारे ज़मीन पे याद है? Why do we understand and remember that? हम सभी की बचपन में कोई ना कोई कठिनाई रही होगी पढ़ने, सीखने, समझने में. D and B मैं क्लास 4 तक गड़बड़ करता था. Here and here, HERE and HEAR, correct? शायद अभी भी गड़बड़ कर रहा हूँ. Right? So there's a word in, there's a Massachusetts, देखो नहीं निकलता. Massachusetts, is that correct? There you go. नहीं निकलता. I can't speak it even today. Right? I am heading operations of a company which has got 65,000 students, but I myself can't speak the word whatever that was. Right? I can't do it. Right? What is it about? What is it about? I don't speak bad English. I speak a fair level of English, right? At least I presume to do so, right? But does it mean that my teacher couldn't give what I needed? Does it mean that? अगर वो रहा होता ना तो शायद मैं इतना भी नहीं बोलता, आपके सामने भी नहीं आता. So definitely my teacher has given what it needs for her to give to me, and I have received whatever best possible way. I'm a kinesthetic learner, by the way, Dr. Ritu's standards. I'm the third learner, जो उन्होंने यहाँ पे दिखाया था. So I learn by doing things. So I did whatever best. In class 2, I was asked to leave one of the schools because I couldn't speak English. Then my father coached me 4 बजे सुबह उठ के. तब से शायद सुबह उठने की आदत पड़ गई. Right? So because of my father, I thank him for whatever little English I speak today. Right? And my school helped me, develop it further. But what was it that I couldn't get in my childhood? That is what is the need of the hour today. That is what you need to find out. You as a teacher are doing the best, no doubt about it. But whatever is your best, is that child able to take that fully, and is he satisfied? Is the parent satisfied? So if you ask me today, are you satisfied with your English that you speak? I would say no. Because it's very embarrassing when I write an email here on here में अगर मैं गलती करता हूँ इस level पे, it's very embarrassing for me, right? If I can't speak the word whatever I'm trying to speak, it's embarrassing for me, isn't it? So there is a need to develop it further, and believe me, without technology, such kind of development can't happen, right? I'm saying it so I should say firmly. Why? Because I'm a technocrat myself. Right, I've been involved in various companies in their technical ventures, right? And with every revolution that happens, right? The time taken to adapt that revolution, right, is decreasing day by day. The earlier you're able to adapt to the new models, methods, and strategies, the better outcome it is going to give it to you as a professional, right? आप लोगों को याद है इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन 1950s? How many of you would have seen it through? Anybody who has seen it through? I don't think we are anybody here that old who has seen it through. Anybody who has seen the Green Revolution here? So, would you have by any chance seen the Green Revolution? How many years did it take for the Green Revolution to really occur and go through? 10 years, 15 years, the whole period of adaptation of Green Revolution, 15 years. Then the Milk Revolution, the White Revolution, 5 years. आनंद जो हमारा ये बना हुआ इतना बड़ा अमूल का 5 साल लगा पूरा इस्टेब्लिश करके फर्स्ट टाइम रोल आउट करने के लिए. 1991 में जब कंप्यूटर रेवोल्यूशन आया था, इट टुक 3 years फॉर द कंट्री टू रोल आउट द कंप्यूटर रेवोल्यूशन. देन व्हेन द मोबाइल रेवोल्यूशन केम, 1 साल में पान वाला तक भी मोबाइल लेके आ गया. आज की डेट में पान वाले के पास जाते हो तो पेटीएम पे करते हो. पेटीएम जब उन्होंने यूपीआई मोदी साहब ने जब इंट्रोड्यूस किया, 15 दिन में दुनिया में यूपीआई पे आ गई. और सबसे बड़ी बात, जब कोविड आया, जब बोला गया स्कूल कल से बंद, तो आप लोगों ने 3 दिन में टेक्नोलॉजी अडेप्ट किया था. किया कि नहीं किया? सो जहाँ 10 साल लगते थे एक रेवोल्यूशन को अडेप्ट करने में, आप लोगों ने 3 दिन में अडेप्ट किया है. So you guys know how to adapt technology. So you guys know how to adapt yourself to the changing requirements of the world. And today's requirement is this. Today's requirement is 3D, 4D, 5D. Today's requirement is AI, VI, AR, VR. Let me tell you, today's world is all about experience. Right? Why do you go to a restaurant? You all go to a restaurant. You all Ahmedabadis, right? I am a pure Ahmedabadi. शनिवार रविवार रेस्टोरेंट नहीं गया तो दिन खराब. Right? So you all are Ahmedabadis. So you all go to restaurants. Why do you go to restaurant? खाना तो घर पे ही पकता है. खाना घर पे ज़्यादा हेल्दी और ज़्यादा अच्छा पकता है जहाँ तक मैं समझता हूँ. But we still like to go to the restaurant. पैसा भी दो और वो क्या बोलते हैं फैट वैट और दुनिया भर के मसाले तेल खाओ. खुद के मसाले बेस्ट ऑफ दुकान से सामान लेके चुन के बेस्ट ऑफ घंटी में जाके पिसवाते हैं और बेस्ट तरीके से स्टोर करते हैं. उसमें तेल लगाते हैं कटोर पे, घर पे इतना कुछ करते हैं ना. क्यों? ताकि खुद का सामान घर पे अच्छा रहे. शनिवार रविवार को दुकान में जाके जो भी वो खिला रहा है खा लेते हैं. कॉन्ट्रैक्टरी है ना, कॉन्ट्रैक्टरी है ना. लेकिन क्यों करते हैं? क्योंकि एक एक्सपीरियंस मिलता है, एक नयापन मिलता है, एक चीज़ अच्छी मिलती है, किक मिलती है. एंड ऑफ द डे यू फील सैटिस्फाइड. यार आई वेंट आउटसाइड, आई हैड अ फूड विद माई फैमिली, आई स्पेंड टाइम विद माई फैमिली. एक इन्वायरमेंट, एक यू नो. सो दैट्स द गुडनेस दैट इट ब्रिंग्स टू यू. सो सिमिलर थिंग, अगर आप एक क्लासरूम में एक लाइवली एनवायरनमेंट लेके आप आएँ, समथिंग लाइक अ शोले. जब आप 4 घंटे शोले देखते हैं, यू आर द एज ऑफ योर सीट. जब आपने कोई अच्छी मूवी देखी, लास्ट मूवी कौन सी देखी? मैंने कांतारा देखी थी. राइट? अच्छी मूवी थी. राइट? एंड व्हाट वाज दैट? झुकेगा नहीं, व्हाट हुआ? वो भी बहुत अच्छा था. राइट? मेरे बेटी ने कन्नड़ में दिखाई मुझे वो मूवी. मुझे आगे पीछे नहीं समझ में आती कन्नड़, बट आई लाइक इट द वे ही सेड दैट झुकेगा नहीं एंड ऑल दैट. एक्सपीरियंस. Right? So if you are able to create that experience, and that became, वो झुकेगा नहीं became my code word. ठीक है, मेरे बॉस कुछ बोलते हैं, मेरे टीम कुछ बोलता था, उससे झुकेगा नहीं. You know? So what was it all about? Experience. Right? Are you able to deliver that experience in your classroom? That's the question. If yes, then आप लोग खाना खाएं, घर जाएं. If no, ये पूरा देखें. Right? I am at a position where we meet such kind of institutions almost on a daily basis. Okay? And I have been into development of softwares myself. I've been into delivery of software myself. With that, I can say this is a fairly good product. Okay? Vijay sir, definitely he is I think the CEO of the company. He'll claim this is the best product. I as an external guy cannot claim this is the only product, but I can only say that it's a good product. It's definitely a good product, right? आप लोग इसको देखें. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ, I'm not, please don't understand that I'm speaking for you to, I'm propagating them for you to buy this thing. No, I'm not saying all that. आप देखें, आपको अगर अच्छा लगा तो कुछ ना कुछ इस तरीके का क्लासरूम में इम्प्लीमेंट करिए. बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली इट इज़ अबाउट व्हाट एक्सपीरियंस यू गिव टू योर स्टूडेंट्स. ठीक है. NEP जो लोग ट्रेनिंग करते हैं, जो CBSE के लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं, वो समझते हैं NEP इज़ ऑलरेडी गिवन यू 50 आवर्स ऑफ ट्रेनिंग. उस 50 आवर्स ऑफ ट्रेनिंग के तहत दिस आर मैंडेट्स नाउ गोइंग फर्दर. आज नहीं तो कल देर सवेर आपको ऐसा कुछ ना कुछ इम्प्लीमेंट करना ही पड़ेगा टू कीप अप टू दी NEP स्टैंडर्ड्स, राइट. सो एन्जॉय द डे, एन्जॉय द प्रोडक्ट, सी व्हाट बेस्ट यू कैन टेक होम फ्रॉम हियर and see how you can bring about the change in the classroom. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much, sir, for this fun and interactive session. We would like to give you a memento as well. And for that, I would like to invite our CEO, Mr. Vijay Albuquerque, to hand over the memento to Ananta, sir. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. A huge round of applause, everyone. Please show some energy. Yes? Thank you. Okay, moving forward, now we have our next speakers. I hope you all are enjoying this expertise delivered by our speakers. Please feel free to ask any questions you want to. We are all here for your help. Moving forward, we have our now esteemed speaker, Dr. Vasudha Neelmani. Dr. Neelmani is a profound and illustrious educationist with over 30 years of experience spanning teaching, administration, mentoring, and advisory roles. She has a 20 years of Cambridge education and 13 years in leadership roles. She's also a consultant to numerous schools where they implement international curriculums and conduct audits. She has a double master's in psychology of education and is a special educator by profession. And today she is going to guide us with the new technologies of NEP and how do we teachers implement it in thorough details. And so I'd like to invite ma'am to start her session. A huge round of applause, everyone. Yes.
Let's start with this video. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, sure.
मोम के लिए माता बस लॉन्च करना पड़ेगा. If I answer with honesty, she would not be the first person I would go to.
It will be very boring for her. एकदम technical हो जाएगा. No, my mom is more of like an investor in like gold and jewelry and stuff. So probably that, but not crypto.
No. I'll ask her for help with recipe.
Good morning, everyone. So, interestingly, I got this video early morning from a friend, and he knows that whenever it came to technology, I was the first one in my schools to caused that disruption. And trust me, my teachers would be now what she is coming up with. What next? So when we are talking about technology, need not to say we all have gone through the COVID era. We all used to discuss in the conferences that how to make this digital education technology part of our classrooms. And I think 2 days, 3 days, we were all set. I remember that when in somewhere in 2011, 2012, I was discussing with my chairman that we want to do something related to technology. And I told my teachers, it was because I strongly feel that it is you teachers that you have to get the things rolling in, get the things done. And so I had to develop a strategy where I started, after taking approval from my management, I started telling my teachers, what if we all have iPads? What if I give you these iPads for home? They were pretty excited about it, not knowing what was coming from me. And slowly and steadily, we were the first school in the country at that time that had introduced technology. So I will not say I'm a completely, as my introduction says, I'm not from a science background, though from a families of doctors and engineers, but very much black sheep of the family, where everyone said that she will take sciences, and I said, no, I want to do humanities, I want to become a special educator. So only the guy who supported me was my father, who said that whatever you do it with passion and give your 100%, and completely agree with Mr. Anand that he said that we should know that why we are here for. So nothing related to NEP as such, but my experiences where I will be talking about the significance, the analysis. We must know why we are doing certain things. And it's more of a, I was told, so I presentation there, but yes, we can go ahead with that. So when we are talking about digital education, now this is something we cannot get away with that. It is very, very important. We could not imagine a situation, maybe a few years ago, it was normal chalk and talk method when we used to talk about teaching the students. As Dr. Ritu rightly said, it was just coming, giving the lectures, going back. And when we talk about active learning, so the focus is on learning, not on the activities. How personalized and differentiated we can make the learning. And when we are talking about, I will be talking about some future trends in education also. But before that, we all know about the 5 C's of 21st century that everyone, the students, the teachers, the principals, we all need to imbibe. But with that, something very, very important is the growth mindset. I'm very sure that if we are here in this room, we do have a growth mindset because we are ready to change. We are ready to update ourselves what's happening in the classrooms. I clearly remember that when I was doing this the Apple technology integration in my first school, there were certain things I did not know. And I took help of my students and they were very cool about it. Oh, our principal, she took our help and she didn't know about it. It's okay. Till date, when I'm talking to my children, I'm very hands-on, and, my office is in the corridor of the school, and my table and chair moves because I want to be with the children all the time. So when I talk to my children, there are certain things when we discuss, and I said, okay, I don't know about this, so let's find out. So Chat GPT, for example, my students told me, "Oh, you're not using Chat GPT. It is very easy, ma'am." I said, "Okay, then what about the ethical issues?" Next slide. Ethical issues. Next, we can go. Yes, I've spoken about that. I've spoken about that. Next. Yes. Yes, we have spoken about this. Next. Okay. So where we spoke about children, and we were talking about Chat GPT, and I said, what about the plagiarism? So, and this was discussed with one of the deans of and vice chancellors of Flames University also, that we as teachers, though it is debatable, we as teachers, we are so stuck that a child, if he has to write a 5,000 word essay or 4,000 word essay, it has to be in his own word. But yes, the debate is still on, but yes, we can draw a line between that. A child, the AI is understanding what we are doing. We have the bibliographies, we give the credit to the things, and children know much more about us. We talk about, there is a very interesting concept in Cambridge, when I take teachers training on Cambridge as PDQ leader, we talk about metacognition. So this Gen Z or Alpha generation, of course, they are born with the high order thinking skills. They are highly metacognitive. It is us millennials or people before us that we need to learn about metacognition. We need to learn about how we incorporate that into the children, or we can channelize that because they already have it. And when we talk about, it increases accountability in the children, in the students and teachers. So we all know about, whenever it comes to education, we talk about pedagogy. It is, okay, these pedagogical practices, that pedagogical practices. But actually, pedagogy means children's learning, and it is pretty content-centric. So there was new concept somewhere Malcolm Knowles spoke about in 1938. He spoke about andragogy. So he said, start treating your children as individuals, start treating your students as adults, and he spoke about adult-centric learning, wherein the concept of not the discussion, the chairs, putting it in the group, the children are discussing, and then came the third important concept, which was hedagogy, that spoke about self-directed learning. Now, we make our children so responsible that they become responsible for their own learning. And that means that as teachers, we all need, I include myself into that, because once a teacher, always a teacher, that we have to be very proactive in our approach with our children. If we are told what to do, how to do, it's futile, because then we can pass on to our children what we have. So it's about complete paradigm shift in the mindset when we are talking about digital technology. We work very closely with a school in Bangalore. Trust me, they have 25 robos in the classrooms in their school, who work as assistant teachers. They have created those prototypes. So, but when we are talking about us as teachers, so technology is not to replace us, but technology is to strengthen us. So now, with the research, with everything, we came to know that whatever clerical job, whatever result analysis, performance analysis that teachers were doing, so with those assistant teachers as robos or those prototype, though I have not visited them yet, but they claim that 70% of the teacher's workload has decreased. right? So we did a we I try to keep updating myself. So we did some course in design thinking with them, and I was a student there. So you won't believe the robots or the prototype were observing us, and they could just give the exact analysis, how attentive we were, how much we paid attention to what was happening, how participative we were, why we were quiet, what was. So it has evolved. It has really evolved. So one small example: when we were young, I think somewhere I remember in 85, 86, we had the first computer lab in my school. And I remember we had to pay a fee of rupees 50 per month to be part of using that computer lab. So we used to remove our shoes outside. It was completely the room with ACs, and we were not allowed to go like that. Then it evolved. The complete system has evolved. I used to work a lot with floppies. I used to work a lot with those OHP screens. There were transparent sheet where I used to make my notes with when I was, used to take lecture. And then it came the CD system, and now everything is online. We are talking about cloud computing, everything is on cloud. So imagine if we had not adapted ourselves with that, where were we? And trust me, this challenge, what we are discussing, the trends in the education, or the analysis of performances through technology, through education, it is not only in India, it is prevalent worldwide. So when we meet educators across the globe, so there are some set of teachers who have that kind of attitude, and with due respect to them, that we know it all and we are not going to change. But then there are some set of teachers who will have that growth mindset, and they will involve. And it is not just in teaching. In every field, we have to keep ourselves updated with that. So of course, when we are talking about future of education, we have lot of the time has come when we talk about personalized learning. Ms. Ritu spoke about 4 kinds of learners. Now imagine in a classroom, if somebody is coming and just giving the lecture and not focusing on that kinesthetic learner, he will just feel lost completely. So how we know, first it is very, very important to know what kind of learners we are dealing with, and then only we will be able to have that personalized atmosphere in the classroom. Not to say because of the technology, because of the digital intervention, we have enhanced learning opportunities. Now, for example, we attended lots and lots of webinars. We did a lot of courses during the COVID time, and life was so easy that, trust me, in 2012-13, it was my dream that, somebody should talk to some good university, Ivy League university, and their professor should talk to my students through whatever at that time Zoom was not there. So I used to get those recorded lectures and, work. And when this trend came, boom, so I had lot of, people from different professors from different good university who used to talk to my students, who used to interact with them, take lectures. It was so easy. We could not. We didn't have to go to US, UK, or the universities abroad to just go. It is good. The experience is good. My children go for summer school program, but at least we were doing. I did my course in from University of Minnesota. There was a course in positive psychology which I had enrolled in, and I was in touch with my professor online. So that was very easy. Of course, we did a lot of examination. The course which we are completely a 1-year course on being a life coach, that was completely online. So if the technology is there, I'm sure the face-to-face interaction is different. You can keep a tab on your students. You develop that emotional bond with your children when you are face-to-face. But at the same time, when you are taking the best use of technology, it really helps us. When we talk about challenges, when we talk about ethical challenges, of course, for teachers, for students, for schools, it has to be that, somebody is not impersonating, or how we are taking care of data breach, how we are preparing our students rightly about plagiarism, about cheating, how we are training our teachers also. Teachers also have to be updated on the latest trends, and how we are protecting, as schools, how we are protecting their policy. But when we see the brighter side, we make friends. I meet so many people, and sometimes I feel little embarrassed that I don't recognize them, but they are all connected with me on LinkedIn. We have all been part of the virtual world seminars, so we make deep bonds, we make friendships with that. When we talk about students, and when we talk about teachers, they are able to, when they are updating ourselves, they are able to enhance their instructional methods. So, because when you are online and you are trying to know what's happening around the world, so you have a lot of virtual labs. I have been associated with Saras from, I think, for past 4 years now. I have been advising them on a lot of things, and I have seen it evolving. I have seen them, doing a lot of things. And the best part is, Ritu here is one of my parents also. But whenever she comes to the school, we always discuss about Saras, and she will ask me, okay, I'm here to discuss about my children, but I will take some, takeaways from you. We are trying this now. What should we do now? What so? And it's heartening to see that it is being implemented also, because when you are giving some suggestions and it's being implemented well, and that's why the company grows. When we talk about, it makes you, as I gave you example of the robos in the school, it makes your administrative task easy, and then you are able to do what you are supposed to do. Once we spoke about our best teachers. We remember our not so good teachers, tough teachers. But at the same point in time, we don't remember them. If they scolded us for our own good. We don't remember them. We don't remember that what kind of lessons they taught us. We remember them, what kind of emotional connection values they added in our life. So when we are talking about future of education, future 9 trends, so of course we spoke about personalized learning, blended learning approach, digital learning approach. It is all about, we just felicitated a girl who used Saras education technology 100 hours. So that's a self-motivated learning. And we used to talk 10 years ago, we used to talk a lot about flipped classroom also, that okay, we are doing the homework, and when we are going to the classroom, then we are discussing how the things were. When we talk about being lifelong learning and continuous education, yes, when we are in education space, or when we are in any corporate space, we have to be lifelong learners. By, I think, 2055, there has been research that there will be many jobs that will be obsolete by then. So if we have not upgraded ourselves with what's happening in digital world, so we won't be knowing. And I did a course in career coaching just to understand, just to see that nobody is, there are a lot of people in the market who used to come, we do this kind of career counseling, we do this, and I was very sure that I wanted best for my children, so I learned myself. So when you are updating yourself and whenever it happens, so I remember my grade 9 to 12 students, when in IGCSE we choose subject in grade 9, so they are after the career counseling sessions and everything. So I have to meet my students and all the parents, because they have to have a final say from me that, you know, which subject is good for them or which field is good for them. Then we talk about skills for future. We already spoke about collaboration. This is a perfect example of collaborative intelligence, and that's the future. With the domain mastery, if we are able to share with, if we are good communicators and if we are able to deliver well, so that's the beauty of the teachers. So when we talk about communication, we talk about critical thinking, creative thinking, collaboration, cooperation. So again, my favorite is again having a growth mindset, that you are with the flow, you are doing. We spoke about it, global and intercultural education. We spoke about socio-emotional learning, ethical consideration, respecting all the differences globally, the global cultural differences, developing emotional intelligence. Can you go back where we were? Emotional intelligence, empathy, resilience, and these are the skills, you know, which we are able to give to our children, give to our students, what we have it. When we talk about competency-based education model, it is just not about trying to prove ourselves, but it is about, you know, taking every one of us together, all the students, all the teachers together, and we are on the mastery of skills, we have mastery of knowledge, and then we move from traditional time-based learning, and when the pedagogical approach is there, so students will track their own progress, students will track their own learning, and as teachers, you can also reflect on your practices, what is good. So reflection is very, very important. So whenever you are try to do that, and it has helped with me. So in your classrooms, after whatever technological practices you are using Saras, so 5 minutes should be there on reflection and feedback, so that you know what your children have understood, you know that what you are as a teacher, what you have delivered, so where you need to improve, and this you can keep it to yourself also. As an introspective approach, we know that what we are good at and where we need to strengthen ourselves. So, so these mega trends collectively point towards more learner-oriented, learner-specific, technology-driven, and globally centered oriented education landscape, and it will cultivate a lifelong learning and essential skills of future. And once again, my best wishes to the Saras-3D team, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I would like to invite Dr. Kashyap sir to felicitate Nee ma'am. Yeah. A huge round of applause, everyone. Thank you.
Achha, I have a question for everyone. So who all are principals here? Please raise your hand.
We are not going to scold you, so please.
No, I wanted actually, but I can't.
It's not
Because
that.
I have been suspended by principals. So I just wanted to know कि कौन से fun ways होते हैं जिससे आप बच्चों को पढ़ाना चाहेंगे, कि जो आपके लिए एक ऐसा काम किया हो कि बच्चे समझ गए हो आपकी बात. It should be creative. Let's get some suggestions. Mukesh sir from Urbi School. I want a big round of applause for everyone.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mukesh Udasi from Urmi School, Vadodara. I also teach, so I teach physics, and my particular strength would be which I keep the students. The way I keep the students, I run around in the class. I am pretty much excited in the class to teach. Okay, I keep running, and students also they keep pointing out, sir, पूरा दिन स्कूल में भाग दौड़ करते हो फिर क्लास में भी कैसे कर लेते हो सो आई डू दैट आई कैन डू दैट एंड for that and again after introduction of Saras it's next level I have to stick to the screen to stick to my PC at least so fine but things are improving thank you very much yeah
Thank you so much, sir. अच्छा, अब दूसरा फन और क्रिएटिव आइडिया आई वांट इट स्पेशली फ्रॉम द प्रिंसिपल्स, क्योंकि उनसे ज्यादा एक्सपेक्टेशंस होती नहीं है सबको फन और क्रिएटिविटी की, बट आई वांट दिस डायमेंशन टू चेंज टुडे. सो द नेक्स्ट प्रिंसिपल दैट आई वांट टू आस्क इज अक्षय सर. यस, फ्रॉम एसबी वकील स्कूल. यस सर,
यस मैडम.
बताइए कुछ बढ़िया सा वे.
ओ हमारे जैसे ही है सर. Actually, after introducing Saras-3D in our school, we have seen that the level of students have increased, ma'am. The way they were having some doubts beforehand, the same doubts has been clear within few seconds only because of the use of this Saras-3D technology. The way, like in chemistry, they have very much issues in understanding what will be the exact location, what is the exact location of atomic orbitals and that. So with the help of this Saras-3D, it has been become very much easier. Thank you, Saras-3D team. Thank you.
Next, Kayyum sir, Crescent School. Please share your experience, sir.
Hello everyone. Actually, I'm also teaching science in my class. So as sir told के principal थोड़े ज़्यादा active रहते हैं. So after the we have started 3D. Before that, when I asked student what is heart, तो जैसे कि आजकल चल रहा है अभी नज़र भी आ रहा है. It's like this. So I explained with the help of Saras-3D that actually what is heart. तो स्टूडेंट को थोड़ा इसमें भी 4 चैम्बर्स बताना पड़ता है आजकल. आफ्टर दैट व्हाट इज़ बाइकस्पिड, व्हाट इज़ ट्राइकस्पिड वाल्व, तो उसको विद द यूज़ ऑफ 3D वी कैन मीन्स बहुत अच्छे से हम एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं. ओके, थैंक यू.
Our favorite Ritu ma'am. She is strict actually.
You must be doing better.
I know better.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. And you asked fun way of teaching, or we have to explain about
No,
Saras?
fun way.
Fun way. So, fun way of teaching. Actually, I'm also from science background. So, as ma'am told that the children usually they learn by doing themselves. So, as I'm a chemistry teacher, so when we teach about indicators and all, so before 3D, Saras-3D, we used to explain them in the class with the help of the chemicals. So they used to do it themselves and learn more, and that gets registered in their mind. But after Saras-3D, we are showing them in this three-dimensional way. And the most important thing about it is that when they see in three-dimensional view and they see everything happening on the three-dimensional or on the technologically, so it registers well in their brain forever and they don't forget. And it is so easy way of learning for them. And I sometimes think where all this technology when we were learning and studying. So we could have also remembered it so easily. So nowadays it is easy for them to remember everything and to register everything in their brains because they see themselves how it happens, and that's why it's very good for them and it's easy for them too. Thank you.
Actually, chemistry teacher ने मुझे suspend किया था. I had a chalk fight in the lab. तो वो ब्यूरेट होता है ना, वो फूट गया था. So she suspended me, and ultimately she was the principal. So I am very much afraid from the chemistry teachers. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's move forward.
Dr. Devang Joshi is with us, and he's currently an executive registrar at NAMTech. It's a proposed university which is coming near Ahmedabad by the ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel. He was the founding registrar at the Charotar University of Science and Technology, which we famously now know as the Charusat University, which is in Changa. He is also a professor of management with research interests in strategic management and social entrepreneurship. Dr. Joshi is an individual possessing a mix of leadership, managerial, and technical skills. He holds a PhD degree in management as well, and he is an advisor at the Saras-3D. So we'll now welcome him to give his wonderful insights about education and the changing trends, and I want every one of you to give him a huge round of applause.
Anyways, I'll follow British tradition. Good morning to everybody. First of all, sorry that I came late, and now sorry, ma'am, I'm barging in your turn. So before I proceed, I'll just like to bring out one point. I have been told to talk on NEP and digital transformation. So everybody knows that. So NEP for school or for higher education, it is in two parts. The document is in two parts. And after those two parts, there are some common features. So if we refer page number 52, 53 onwards, then they are talking of technology adoption. So I am not going to talk about that. I am going to talk about a different tangent. What is happening because of technology explosion? What is happening to the teachers? What is happening to the learners? So I'll give one example. You may have heard name of JCB. How many of you know JCB? A big machine moving around, right? It is basically a UK company, right? So I visited this plant of JCB and I was on the shop floor. And their major operation, you are all Gujarati, Hindi, Gujarati chalse ne? हिंदी भी चलेगा. सो मेजर ऑपरेशन जो शॉप फ्लोर पे हो रहा था वो था वेल्डिंग, क्योंकि जेसीबी में जितने भी पार्ट्स हैं आप शीट्स लेके आओ, कट इट, वेल्ड इट एंड देन यू मेक द गेम. जैसे अपने बच्चों को गेम देते ना, लीगो ब्लॉक्स ऐसे. Now this welding is very high end and very risky. It has very high temperature, fumes are generated, it has to be very precision. So can you guess what would have been the proportion of the male and what would have been the proportion of the females? Any guess? You can guess 50-50, you can guess 20-20. Males कितने होंगे और pardon sir? 80% males होंगे welding shop में और 20% females होंगे. Any other guess? Any other guess? Is the reverse? Okay. Any other guess? So what he says is right, it is reverse. The females are doing welding. Now the second question, whether they were engineers, whether they were diploma holders, whether they are ITI holders. ITI holders, the girls. Now again, whether they were ITI from welding trade, from fitting trade or any other trade related to mechanical engineering or any other trade. Guess. Welding trade or mechanical trade. No. All, you were very right, it is 90% by girls. They are ITI computer specializations. So this is where I am bringing that how the learning changes. So I was, as you are amused, I was also amused. कि भाई ये कैसे हो रहा है यार? ना welding जैसी heavy काम में girls को कर रहे हैं. So number one was, I mean, I see a lot of females. Number one, the HR manager said girls are very sincere and very committed. Agreed? Say yes, I am not listening. Claps from you. I'll share Charusat examples also. We used to give more admissions to girls. Why? A different tension is these girls are sincere, they attend classes, and because they attend classes, boys do attend the class. So coming back to this JCB example, so what they did is that what they found out was girls were very sincere, very committed, and that focus is required in the welding shop. So they went to all ITIs, and of course this ITI training में computer में ही जाती है girls, इसमें नहीं जाती है. So what they did is they first established a virtual reality welding station, right? So wherein you wear the glasses, you are given the rod, and you virtually do the welding. And that is where these computer literate girls were very intelligent. Then they were taken with all safety gears, they were put onto the real machines, and then they were put on the workshop floor. So what I'm coming to is this, that augmented reality, virtual reality is going to help. What another thing which I'm coming to is this, that this three-dimensional learning, two-dimensionally we see videos and all those things. Of course, we all know that बोलने से ज़्यादा पिक्चर अच्छा होता है, एंड पिक्चर में 2D से ज़्यादा 3 डायमेंशनल फील इज़ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. एंड आई गिव यू द रियल एग्जांपल, क्योंकि मैं बोलूँगा विजय भाई बोलेंगे या कश्यप भाई बोलेंगे, नो, यू कैन गो एंड फाइंड आउट दैट real examples that how 3D or augmented reality, virtual reality imbibes the learning, changes the learning. So this is what we saw. I saw that, and I was very happy that yes, there is this technology which is not only giving jobs to the women, but it is empowering them by financially making them independent. So this is one part. Now coming back to, so I'm emphasizing use of 3D part in your education because it does make a difference. Coming back to NEP. NEP is undercurrent. If you read away, if आप सब पढ़ोगे बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ोगे, तो undercurrent ये है कि बच्चे का holistic development होना चाहिए, है ना? तो हम तो आप, you are all teachers, you all believe you are in very noble profession. Most noble profession of the world is teaching. वो अलग बात है, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स में टीचर से बहुत सारी चीज़ें गवर्नमेंट करवाती रहती है, टाइम नहीं देती है, वो अलग बात है, बट स्टिल यू बिल्ड द नेशन, राइट? सो I will give you a quick example. Can you log into your mobiles and find out types of intelligences? Types of intelligence. Mobile में देखो आप, types of intelligence.